I'm here in the visitor centre, about to have a little wander through the visitor centre shop. There's a whole host of whiskies in here. This is my special place. I love coming here, seeing what's on offer, be it core range, be it limited editions, be it special distillery only releases. Let's have a wander through. I'm going to pick out maybe something I think you can't get just online, just at the supermarket. Something that I think is really worth picking from visiting Lochranza Distillery on the Isle of Arran. Come on. As you can see, they sell everything here in the shop. We've got clothes, cycling gear, baseball caps, woolly hats, mugs, cards. There's a big range of stuff, but what I'm here for is the whiskey. So let's go and have a look at what whiskey they've got on their shelves. We've got some blends. Now I know we talk a lot about single malt Scotch, but I think there's great value in blends in 2024. The Southwester is predominantly from Lag Distillery. It's a peated blend. £21 for a peated blend of lag, malt, and maybe one or two other distilleries. I think that's fantastic value. The Lochranza blend from here on the north end of the island as well, 23 quid. It's been consistent value as long as I've been coming here. If you want to drink it in a cocktail or drink it neat, that's fine. But for £23 in 2024, you cannot go wrong. We're at Lochranza, we're on the north end of the island, but they're supporting their sister distillery down the south, Lag. You've got some of Lag's expressions, but maybe we'll touch on that in another episode. So next up, we've got some of the peated Lochranza malt, Macrimoor. Macrimoor, you can have it as a non-age expression, you can have it as a cask strength expression, or rather excitingly, you can have it as a 10-year-old expression. I think this stuff is great. I've been buying this for the last couple of years. It doesn't last long into every year. They haven't made much of the stock, but if you see it, 60 quid for a 10-year-old Macrimoor, you can't go wrong. Okay, here's one that I have bought many bottles of over the last few years. This is the small batch series. This is one that I collect. We've been in Warehouse 1 earlier on today. The insignia on here, the little logo on the label is of a warehouseman pushing a barrel in Warehouse 1 where we were. This is a heavily peated Lochranza malt finished in a rum cask. This tastes fantastic, 57.2%. You can add water or you can drink it neat if you want. £66. I think that's not bad value for a small batch, and that combination of peat and rum, it really works for me. Either neat as a single malt or in a cocktail, it's delicious. Grab this while you can if it's still here when you come up to the Isle of Arran. If you're a kind of cream liqueur fan, don't need to go for any of the big brands that you see in supermarkets. Arran Gold, whiskey from Arran, the cream from Ireland, it's a brilliant combo. A much higher content of whiskey in this than you'll ever find from anything in the supermarket. Brilliant value, brilliant taste. Buy it alongside your gym membership, that's fine. So we have some pretty old stock here. There's 25-year-old Arran if you want to buy it. There's some delicious wine cask finishes. They come about every year. We've got a sherry cask, a quarter cask, which we tried in Warehouse number 1. The 10-year-old is a consistent gem, great price point, great flavour. It's won loads of awards, quite rightly. I want to draw you over here to some distillery exclusives that I think might pique your interest. So, I mentioned small batch before. That's the kind of old style small batch. This one is the new style. Still the same kind of concept though. Take a couple of casks, vat them together, release them. This is an 11-year-old Marsala cask. This offers great value for money, and this is only available here in Lochranza. Anyone wanting to get into the slightly more niche, interesting, introspective ranges of Lochranza's releases, go for a small batch. It's always interesting, and it's always a tasty dram. Definitely go for this. What else have we got? A 13-year-old bourbon single cask, £105 in 2024. I think that's a very fair price for the market. If, like me, you love bourbon casks, you're going to find it hard to avoid purchasing a bottle of that. The 17, this is core range, but this, I don't think you can find this on the mainland anymore. I don't think you can find this on web shops. They released it last year. They normally have an 18-year-old core range. This one was bottled just under 18 years, so by Scotch Whisky Association regulations, they have to label it as 17. It's been really well received. People love it. I think £117, again, a fair price for a 17-year-old. Don't expect that number to be on it in years to come. They're going to go back to 18 years old, so a good kind of oddity to add to your collection. And then from core range 17 to single cask 17, if you're a sherry fan, as I know Steve and Jake are, then a single cask sherry expression is one you're going to want to buy. That's the kind of thing you can get when you come to this distillery, and you make that journey. It's not something you just click and buy online, it's something you can buy here. Interesting, a 7-year-old Madeira cask. Now, on our warehouse tour in Warehouse 1, that Madeira cask at just over 5 years old stood out. So I think if you've come on journey through the ages and you've tried that 5-year-old, this 7-year-old is going to really pique your interest. £80. I think that's a fair price again for a single cask. This isn't your kind of mass-produced blended stuff. This is very niche expressions of what Lochranza does so well here in both bourbon, sherry and wine. And let's finish up just along here with the tail end of a series which they've only just launched last year. There's going to be an update, version 2, very shortly. This is Remnant Renegade. This is the remnants from casks. Maybe the ABV has dropped a bit low and they vat it in with some slightly higher ABVs. This is the first one, batch 1 of Remnant Renegade, £82. I think it's a really interesting kind of direction for them to go, mixing sherry bourbon and these remnant casks that they can't quite fit into other things. It's gone down really well for version 1. There's a peated one coming just around the corner for version 2. Let's see how it goes. So here we are tucked away in the corner of the visitor centre shop. And what do we find? It's a pour your own cask. So this is a great reason to visit the distillery and bring away something unique that you can't get just online. This is a PX finish from 2015, a 9-year-old cask. You can do it in a dinky little 20 centilitre bottle, or you can do it in the full 70 centilitre bottle. This will change. It's PX right now while we film it. Who knows what it could be in 2, 3, 4 months, a year's time. That's the fun of coming to a distillery. You can pick out something completely unique, bring it back to your home, share it with your friends and family, have a great time. PX in here right now. So I promised you a bottle that I think is worthy of buying right now, that I'm interested in buying. And maybe it's a bit left field, but I'm going to try and hopefully explain myself here. It's the Barrel Reserve, so it's £38. It's down at the cheaper end of the scale. But what I know about it is it's a 7 to 8 year old exclusively first fill bourbon finish. Now I love the bourbon finishes with Arran. Super fresh, super vanilla-y, orchard fruit. It's everything I look for. It's a really good price point. A little bit lower ABV than I normally go for, 43%. But as the temperatures warm up, as the sun shines again and we don't get rained on continuously throughout winter, this is the dram I'm going to be looking forward to sampling over the rest of 2024. Seek it out, it's worthy of a try. So hopefully you've had a great time visiting the distillery shop at Lochranza. I've had a great time. I'm going to go pay for this bottle now. If you haven't been to a distillery shop, just come along. You can pick up so many exclusives and interesting bottles. It's worth venturing into the wild for. I'm going to go now.